Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Jim, it's Amadeus. And Amadeus, today we have for our fans here an opportunity to talk about one of our favorite subjects, and that's of course golf. And today marks the opening of the um, Tiger Woods hosting the Genesis Classic, which is played out in Pacific Palisades, California, which is a suburb of Los Angeles. The course is the Riviera Golf Course. It is a very famous, very old country club out there, and it is a fun course to watch. And I'm quite certain, Amadeus and I in the pre-show were looking. Yeah, right now there's over 20 guys within, you know, 3 shots of the lead, which right now Jordan Spieth has at -4.
Yeah, definitely. It's no waste management tournament, that's
No,
for
no,
sure. But that might be a
no,
good thing
no.
this weekend. So
Right.
yeah, it's very exciting. Obviously, Bet365 was getting into the mood. I woke up to a nice boost this morning. Tiger Woods to shoot under 70 and a half in the first round at plus 200. I didn't take myself, but we'll see if that one pans out for Tiger today.
Well, if you're talking the front nine, he might be there. It's the back nine that's a problem. Um, a couple things about Riviera to look for. Riviera is a course that Pacific Palisades is the neighborhood. The course is on in Pacific Palisades. There's a story out there that says that you know if you're rich, you live in Bel Air. If you're really rich, you live in Beverly Hills. If you are blessed, you live in Pacific Palisades. So that gives you an idea of the neighborhood that we're talking about here. It's Bel Air, it's Beverly Hills, it's Pacific Palisades. The golf course, and because of the way it is configured, the golf course is actually, if you were able to get elevation and see, like if you were on a rooftop deck of those gorgeous multi-million dollar houses out there, you would see that it's very close to the ocean. It literally is on the Pacific Ocean. So you get winds out there that you don't expect, and you can even get some showers from time to time, and things like that can kind of pop up right there on the Pacific Ocean. But the way it was crafted, the course, it's somewhat narrow, okay, and it also has this little undulation elevation deal going, okay, and so um, you will you'll see people, and if you've played the game, you know that sometimes they'll say, "Well, hit it past the hole," and you're thinking, "What are you talking about? Hit the ball past?" It's because the green is elevated. If you hit past the hole, it'll come back. And the same thing in some fairways. You're going to you want to drive the ball further because it's going to come back or you can hit it like mid range, right, Amadeus, and it'll roll for another 50 yards, or 25 yards. And that's the brilliance of having, it's hard to see on television and gauge it, but you will see that balls will move in weird directions. And that's because of the elevation and the way they kind of made the course. So, when I say elevation, it's not like you're standing on a mountain and shooting down. It's the way um, they've used topography to move the holes around in such a way that things look straight and they look flat, but they're not. And if you were standing out there, you would see it. You can't see that on television. So if you wonder where the hell did that ball just go and why is it moving from left to right or from back to forward, it's because of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a lot of I mean, I've played a few courses myself that
Mhm.
are like that, and it's definitely more challenging. That's for sure. So you see that you tend to see that a lot too. I believe Augusta's the
Mhm.
same in
Yeah.
that sense, where you can't really see the greens look flat, and that's why
Yeah.
I'm always wondering, like, why is he aiming, all the way, to a right?
Right.
Well, if you were standing on the green, it's going to take that right angle turn. So
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing about the course that's fun is that because of the elevation, not like Waste Management where they built, stands out there, so that people can look down on it. Uh, you're looking down on the course. If you're a fan, it's good because you can actually see the fairway and you can see the players and you see them go to the green. It's a very fan friendly viewing situation. They also have an iconic um, clubhouse, it was built in the 1920s, I think, 27, 28, something like that. It's incredibly beautiful Mediterranean. Actually, it was built to look kind of a combination of Spanish, Italian, Mediterranean. So there you go, Amadeus, Spanish, Italian, Mediterranean. That I'm not architectural digest, so I'm not quite sure how to explain that. But if you look at the clubhouse from a distance, which you will see plenty of shots of the clubhouse, it has a lovely, lovely look to it. It's a gorgeous 2-story clubhouse, and if you're lucky enough to have the $275,000 it costs to live to join there, and you happen to get in, then it's a wonderful place to play, I would think. So there you go. So it's tell you what we'll do is we're going to give you the 10 best shots in the history of Riviera Country Club, and they by the way have 2 really good par threes on there. You'll see it in here. And then we'll come back on the other side and talk about who has a good chance of you know getting that trophy at the end of the weekend. Okay, all right. So here, courtesy of the PGA Tour, is a look at the 10 best shots ever made at Riviera.
Jordan Spieth, his second to 7. And the eagle.
Catch up with Justin Rose at the 17th hole, 2 under par. Wasn't able to go at the green in 2. Tough back right hole position, but not for Justin. A beautiful eagle 3.
Yuki Matsuyama with his second.
Oh, hello.
My.
That wakes us all up.
Big John Daly with his second shot to this par 4 a moment ago.
That looked like a wedge. It's 458 yards uphill.
And using the backboard behind the hole like a lot of players have done. And watch this.
Oh, come
Good hit.
on.
Well, why not?
Phil Mickelson, second to last hole of the day, and Brando from 112 yards out with a wedge in his hand.
Yeah, he chose just to bomb off of the tee and a perfectly played wedge shot.
Retief Goosen's got to get something going. Somebody's yelling, "Be it." Oh. That's how you do it.
Moved up to 146 yards today. JB Holmes. Oh, look at this. Wow, right in the middle. What a shot for JB Holmes. Moves to 7 under par and tied with Jordan Spieth.
And they're giving the cars away at 14 and 16.
Well, I'm on the 16th hole, and this shot was hit, and I was watching this ball as it hit the green and started rolling, and you could go It's going to go. Watch it. We're right on this angle, and just boink. Right in the middle. Nothing better than holding one, is there?
The rain is coming down pretty hard right now. Wind is actually off their left, which is a very, very strange wind. Obviously, the wind usually comes off the ocean. 152, probably playing more like 170, maybe 175. It's on a really good line if it's enough club.
Yeah.
Get in!
Oh! It's the right club.
Wow!
Dustin Johnson with an ace at the 6th.
Let's go to 14.
And Rich Beam is at 8 under.
And this is a great hole for the players to check their peripheral vision, which I can't say.
Oh!
Hello.
A one-hop hole-in-one. Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, and he wears metal spikes.
It's all yours. That's the all-time reaction. He slides right off the trunk.
Thanks to PGA Tour Productions for that. And much of it looks a lot like Amedeus' game, because I know he likes to play wedges. But anything you saw there that, it was one of those things where we talked about the importance of knowing about, about the topography of the course, the fact that it is, as I said, it's uphill in some cases, downhill in other. And you could see many of them overshot the pin because they knew the ball would come back.
Yeah, well, it's funny you mentioned that, Jim, because it definitely looks like my kind of course. I was telling you yesterday, I love to just, full power on every shot. That's why, I really choose my clubs wisely, because I'm not the type to do a little half swing or a 3/4 swing. So, and I love to see my guy Phil Mickelson in there representing the
lefties.
The 4% of us lefties out there. I told you yesterday, Jim, that I had a 64 degree in my bag, and he's the whole reason why. I saw him make. I told you I used the 64 mainly for those shots where I'm in the rough and I got a bunker between me and the green. That's exactly what I saw Phil use it on one day, and I said I was real young, and I said to myself, I'm buying a 64 degree.
Well, look, if lefty can do it, then so can you. And
exactly.
And to be honest, I'm happy to see the live situation and the PGA people getting back together again, because I missed, I know a lot of people did miss seeing lefty and competing and playing on a high level. So it's good to have lefty back. And there were some shots there, and we know playing golf, you're not always going to hit the shot you want. But in some of those shots, the guy, when he hit it, had no intention of the ball coming back and landing in the cup. Just all you wanted to do was get safely on the green where you could putt from the ball. And, some of those shots were amazing. The John Daly shot from the fairway was ridiculous. But, sometimes they go in. More often than not, they don't, but sometimes they go in, which is why they're pros.
I've seen him play live a few times. I've actually played his signature course in Niagara Falls, Thundering Waters. I've played it many times, actually. So beautiful course down in Niagara for sure. But actually, I used to love his Loudmouth clothing brand. They had these like shorts that was just it was like half was red, half was white, and it had the maple leafs all over it. And then on the red side, the leafs were white, and on the other side, vice versa. So he made a lot of good stuff. Big John Daly fan from back in the days. It was nice to see him playing exactly like me. Grab what looks like the iron and just pound it 400 yards. That's
just whatever it takes, right? It's
that's what he was known for, right? Hitting it 400 off the tee.
Yeah, I saw him one day. I was behind him, and we were working. I was working on the tournament, and I swear he hit a drive, and I didn't see it. I mean, the ball just disappeared from you're thinking, all right, he hit a satellite or something because that damn thing is gone. And it's like watching a home run in a baseball stadium. You watch it and you're like, I don't know where it's going, but it's not coming. We can have lunch by the time it comes down. Back in the day, he was the guy that drove the ball the furthest. There was nobody that was even coming close to him. Now he was terrible with the irons, but he was okay with the driver.
Well, that was the signature, right? 400 off the tee. Didn't matter what we did from there, but
right.
We'll get close enough to the green
right.
to manage.
Just give me 3 other shots to get there. I had no problem with it, or on the green, whatever. But that's that's as I say, that's the course. We know what it's going to be like. The weather's supposed to be pretty good out there in LA for the tournament. Normally it is. It doesn't. The end of the rainy season, in LA is very near, so it's likely that's not going to be a problem. As I say, being right on the ocean, which it is, there'll be that early morning. You don't want to tee off early in the morning there because you're going to get that marine layer, which is going to give you grief. But other than that, it should be, at this point in time out there, it should be nice and dry and playing pretty well. So when last we checked that leaderboard, things were doing okay. -4 out there for the first, day is not a bad. It's not a bad score, but looks like it's going up because Patrick Cantley and Jordan Spieth are both now through. Patrick Cantley is through 9 at 5 under, and Jordan is right behind him at 8. He's at 5 under. Bo Hostler jumped up the deal to number. He's -3. He is on the 14th hole. Victor Howland is also -3. He's at the 9th hole, so he must be playing with Cantley. Will Zalatoris is on the 5th, and he's at 3 under. Then we got Lucas Glover at 2 under, Tom Hodge at 2 under, Adam Svensson at 2 under, Denny McCarthy at 2 under, Cam Davis at 2 under. You get the idea, folks. We're talking about 5 more people at 2 under. I'm looking for Tiger. He was at 1 under. Let's see where he is now.
He's still there, I believe.
He's still hanging at 1 under. He's through 8.
Yeah, there's just, as you said, there's such a large pool of players from -1 and 2. So if you can't find the player you're looking for, you might need to double check, because I was struggling to find Tiger myself. I was looking for him.
There's 30 guys right now, a little over 30 guys, maybe 32. That are 1 under.
Well, if you are looking to bet Tiger Woods, you can get him at a cool +20,000 to win the tournament right now. So just for those bettors out there, if you want to put a little sprinkle on Tiger, you never know. You never know.
Stranger things have happened.
Exactly, right? So +20,000, $10 pays out $2,000. So yeah.
Well, Patrick Cantley came in here, somewhat the odds on favorite. He's +500. Jordan is at +800 right now. So I don't know. I would think that probably in-game betting on golf would probably be one of the things that, if I were to do it, if I were to choose a sport to in-game bet, that might be the one thing I might do. But you could tell me if that's an unwise thing or not.
No, it's a great idea, especially with the way we see things change on Saturday and Sunday. Absolutely, you could really, in golf, you could bet on a different person every day of the tournament to win the tournament and come out with a profit in the end, because you could end up getting 4 guys at +1,000 or +800 and something, and maybe one started the tournament plus 400, had a bad opening day, came back the next few days. So we see it all the time. So absolutely, Jim, I'm with you. Live betting is the way to bet golf.
the other thing too is they change the hole placements every day. So you might one day, the 14th, at Riviera might favor one guy, but when they change the hole placement, it may favor somebody else. So instead of the back of the green one day, maybe it's the front of the green, maybe it's in the middle of the green. So you got to keep a lookout for that too, because they change those each day.
Yeah, maybe it's on the left near the bunker.
Yeah,
got to have a more accurate iron play to get it in there.
Protect it, right? Yeah. And
yeah, so definitely live betting's the way to go.
And the weather has a little bit to do with it. Not that it rains or any of that sort of thing, but there are some days that weather's good, and then there's some days that guys are just really good on play once they start getting heated up. Some of these guys are very streaky golfers, right? They'll knock out 5 birdies in a row, and then then they'll tank.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that, because there could be a guy that goes 8 under on a day.
Yeah.
And that'll be their best day of the tournament, and they won't even get anywhere close the other 3 days, right? It just happened. Maybe the whole placement and everything was just clicking for them. They had that great day, and as you said, it's the same course, but it's really not the same course with the whole placement. So anything can happen the next day. It's going to be hard to replicate that exact same thing. You can do as much up until the short game, then it really changes.
Well, the other thing too is you've got in some tournaments, you've got 125, 130 guys playing on Thursday and Friday. Then on Saturday and Sunday, you got half that. So there's a lot, and there's no. And again, this is not to throw shade on the course people who take care of the courses, the groundskeepers, because they're all outstanding at what they do. But when you've got those metal cleats and all that, there's things you just cannot fix. So the course is going to play really, the ball's going to take a funky bounce depending upon what's going on. The only place that really isn't, in some way marred by this trampling of 100 some odd golfers out there, is really the green. Everything else has been mushed up, and so you may catch a ball that lands in a bit of where a divot was. The guy replaced it, but you can't replace it totally. So you see stuff like that happen. So you have to be careful. When the guys get to Saturday and Sunday, they've earned it, but there's still things on the course that they can't control.
Yeah, and it just goes to show how important that green aspect is, because how many times have you been watching the event on like the 3rd or 4th day, and they'll show you, oh, this is where they drove it off the tee the first 2 rounds, and the ball lands in the same spot. Like a lot of these times, the first and second shot is always going to be the same for these guys, unless they really mishit it. It's that 3rd, 4th, 5th shot that's making the difference as you get onto the green and close to the hole.
Well, it's Saturday's called moving day, on the tournament, and it's a lot of it because of what you just said, right? You now have had 2 days to play that course, and they're going to change the whole location on you, but where your 9-iron is best. Where where to chip. You can say to yourself, okay, if I can get beyond that tree on my left about 10 yards, I can make the green from there. So you're starting to get a feel for the course. And it takes 2 days to get a good feel for the course. But once you do, that's again, golf, I know it's a cliche, but golf is a mental sport. Physically, you have to be able to play, but mentally you have to be able to forget that bad shot you made, or not get too hyped up on the good shot you made. You have to keep an even keel if you can make it through tournaments like this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a mental game. I was telling you yesterday about the mental block with me and my 5-iron.
Right.
So Absolutely mental game. But that's a great point to bring up too with the moving day. And I think that's why
Right.
we see so much movement on the Saturday. You know,
Mhm.
you've had 2 days to play the course, as you said,
Mhm.
and you know what clubs are best. But at the same time, if you're lower in the competition, a few strokes behind, you also know, well, I mean, I made the cut and I only got 2 days now left. You know, it's now or never. I have to take a risk here. All right, maybe I played it safe the first 2 times, but now I'm going to go club up extra, and we're going to try and get that shot. Maybe we get that bank off the hill that we need. We take a risk and see if we can, gain a stroke here.
Well, the other thing, and I think it's very important, and I'm glad you brought it up, is that if you make it to Saturday, okay, you're going to cash. Okay, you're making money. Okay, those first 2 days you may not make money. If you bomb out and don't make the cut, you're basically in the car and heading to the next tournament. But if you make the cut, you're playing a little bit. I'm not saying you're playing with house money, because you're not, but you are playing knowing that you're, at the end of the day, you're going to get a check, and it's going to cover the expenses and probably better than that. So yeah, moving day is fun because you're now playing with you're a little calmer, if that makes any sense, because you've made the cut. Now, if you're one of guys like Jordan Spieth and people like that, you don't worry about it. If you don't make the cut, then that's it. But you're going for points and tournament money. So even if you're not going to be at the top of the leaderboard, if you're in the middle somewhere, that's not a bad thing to be. You can make a nice living staying in the middle if you can. If you're a top 100 golfer. In last year, for instance, in the PGA, if you're a top 100 golfer in the PGA last year, you made $5 million.
Yeah,
it ain't bad.
Definitely not bad at all.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Guys are consistent out there. They may not win tournaments, but they're consistently in that top 20, range, maybe from 5 to 25 or something like that. Hey, you make a very nice living doing that, because you're going to be in pretty much every tournament, but you don't necessarily have to win. Sometimes you do win.
Yeah, and those are the guys that I'm talking about with the moving day, where they're gonna. Those are the ones that they played it safe the first 2 days. They know that their skill is good enough where I can make the cut. I can stay just in the middle of the race here, and then once you've made the cut and I'm getting that check at least, then now you can change up your game a bit, and on that Saturday maybe you decide I'm going to take a few risks today. If it doesn't work out early, I go back to playing safe and we just stay in the middle of the pack. But maybe I start making some headway up the table.
Right. Who made an amazing living, didn't win a lot of golf tournaments here in the United States, but won a lot of European golf tournaments, was Sergio Garcia.
Yep.
Sergio would come here and flirt with winning and, end up in the top 5, top 10. Sometimes he was in the top 2. But, whenever he didn't feel comfortable, he'd go back and play in Spain or play somewhere over in Europe and, knock down 2 wins every year and, cash out. So it can be done. And, we're seeing a lot of different golfers who, are coming from all over the world. And I think that the biggest thing to me that's helped these golfers has been the equipment. I mean, the equipment has changed so drastically over the last 10 years, 20 years. I mean, you're getting guys who can hit the ball, 25 or 30 yards further than they normally could, because the club is now, capable. Now, here's the bad news is you may hit, if you hit the ball badly with the wood, 10 years ago, you're going to hit it further, but also badly, 25 yards in the wrong direction. Now, it's, a club's not going to make you better. It just gives you the distance to be better. Doesn't necessarily, if you hook the ball, it's going to still hook. If you slice the ball, it's going to still slice.
Well, that's the thing, right? The technique and the swing and mechanics, you still need all that there to make it happen.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. They're talking about, put tungsten now and all this technology in the club head. Soon it's going to have like a chip tracking my exact,
Right.
you know, you're 136.2 yards away from the hole.
Well, Titleist had they put a chip in a ball, and then you had to have a Titleist club, right? But they have some of those exact things where they literally have a GPS chip in the ball, and you can read it. You got it on your watch and say, okay, I just drove the ball, 375 yards. Okay, and then you hit it 375 yards, and it's now in water. So you know where it is. Okay, I know where the ball went. It went in the lake, 375 yards from it. So yeah, I mean it's wild, but yeah, it definitely is.
That'll
there.
definitely help me on some evenings, Jim. I could use that. Just take a look at the phone. Oh, yeah, we're in the woods. Definitely in the woods. Didn't quite see it enter the trees, but it's
Right.
deep in there. We're don't have to look for this one, right? Just drop
we're
it.
Gonna
And
drop,
move on.
yeah, drop and play. Forget it. Some 12 or 14-year-old kid's gonna get that ball later whenever they go out there and shag balls from the woods. Let them go and deal with the animals out there in it. But the tournament Riviera kind of starts the season. It's one of the. It's not obviously it's not a major, but it is a tournament that people pay attention to. That players want to play, and it begins the competition. The Florida Tour starts in March, so there's a couple weeks more of playing California and playing Arizona before they head to Florida. And then, of course, the first weekend in April is when we get to see the Masters. So everybody's playing toward that now, and I think that you got Tiger out there and out there trying to see how that works. The thing that concerns me about Tiger is he's got so much. He's had a back issue. He's got obviously his legs were smashed up in that car accident, and he had leg problems before he even had that. So he's bionically put together, but I'm not so certain that that physically the PGA Tour is demanding, and I'm not so sure physically that 4 rounds of golf at the highest possible level is what Tiger Woods is able to do anymore.
Yeah, especially with the way you described the course and the topography of it. Definitely going to put a lot more stress on those legs than playing a flatter course you might see in good old Florida. So definitely a factor for him, the walking, and obviously that was the big thing when he was first coming back. But it definitely the fatigue throughout the 4 days, right? And he as you said, he might come out good today, might look good tomorrow, but that fatigue's gonna wear on him as we get into the weekend. Walking the course a third and fourth time now. It's even though the hole changes every day, the hills stay the same. So
yeah. Well, and the other thing too is look at guys like like Jordan Spieth or Rory McIlroy or somebody like that. Cantley is another one. They're physically fit, and they still get tired. So it's wearing. Now I would think, and this is just me, pontificating at the moment. I would think that with the Champions Tour, where you can use a golf cart, and you play 3 days instead of 4, that I could see Tiger winning 1 or 2 on that tour if he ever chose to go there.
Oh, definitely he could. I think obviously the golf cart would be a huge help. Also, probably the competition he's going against wouldn't be as strong. So definitely, I agree with you. He could pull that off.
I was always curious as to why Nicklaus and Palmer never played a champion. Well, they called it the Seniors Tour at that point, but they never played in any of those events. And I thought, to if you're really an ambassador to golf, which both Jack and Arnie were, I would have thought that would have been, a great way to say, okay, there's golf after the PGA Tour. I mean, I would have rather seen Nicholas or Palmer play that than not make the cut at a tournament because they just didn't have it to make it anymore.
I think what it is for them at this point, at that point, and again, this is all, speculation. This is just my opinion. I think it's pride at that point, right? Like, it would be the same as, imagine when Tom Brady retired from the NFL and people were like, well, why don't you go play in the UFL or whatever it's going to be called. I think it's the UFL now, right? They merged the two leagues and the new one's the UFL. Yeah. And Tom Brady, I think he would take that as an insult because he would look at it like, I can still compete at the highest level. So I think that's what it is for those kind of guys. When you're one of the greatest to play in your sport, you take it as a demotion or, like an insult. Well, go play on the seniors tour. You'll be fine. Absolutely not. I can still compete with the best of the best. Get out of here. So if anything, I chalk that one up to pride.
I had, I forget whether it was last year before last. Great line from Lee Trevino, who does play some events on the seniors, on the Champions Tour. Lee goes, look, they put money out there. If it's money to be had, he goes, I don't mind riding in a golf cart. He goes, and I don't mind that some of these guys don't go out there and play. They don't want to play. That's fine with me. I'll just take the money. And
it's a great way to look at it, right?
Yeah, and a guy who has really done an outstanding job on that tour is Bernard Langer. And he had that going for him, and he doesn't mind going out there and doing playing 3 rounds and picking up a hefty check at the end.
Yeah. Now you don't have to ride in the golf cart.
No. I'm not saying that. No.
Okay. Because you can carry such a strong point. Like walk.
You could carry whatever you want. I'm just saying the option is that if you feel you need a cart, you can have a cart. Okay. Now there's some people who walk and the cart, goes alongside. So maybe I get tired after 7 or 8 holes. My cart is there for me. So you don't have to use it the whole time. You don't have to have the whole time. Actually, they have a driver drive it.
Oh, okay. There you go. Even
because
better.
The caddy, you and the caddy are walking up, trying to figure out what you're supposed to do from wherever you are. So, you got a chauffeur on the cart. So there's that.
Go.
But yeah, not bad, huh? But it's an interesting thing, and the other thing that I'm finding interesting, we'll see this weekend, is there's going to be a lot more emphasis put on the LPGA Tour because that's going more global than it's going here in the States because of so many Asian and European players who are doing incredibly well on the tour. Not as many people from the U.S. as are winning on the LPGA Tour.
Well, I mean, it's good to see the sport or the league, grow globally. So, I mean, that's positive.
Yeah, and the PGA's always had a very strong Asian and European. I mean, you can make a very good living on the European tour. And many people, let me try that again. Rory McIlroy, did very well on the European tour, and which was kind of like a springboard for him to go and say, you know what, I'm going to play the PGA Tour. Now, good for him. He does still play some tournaments in Europe because, again, he feels some loyalty to them because they were, as I said, that's how he got boosted up into the PGA. So he plays a little bit on both sides of the pond.
Yeah. That's I think Victor Hovland does that too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe he'll play a few European
Sure.
ones.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys who do. And there's some of the guys who are Americans who go over and play. So, your sponsors want you to be, and then we're talking about now the upper echelon players. Your sponsors want you to be at as many events as you want to be. And I can foresee, if I had a choice, if I were that good, I would say, okay, I could play in, the Granger tournament in Iowa. No shade on Iowa. Or I could play, at the, the old Perrier Open, in, in Versailles, France. I think I would rather go to Versailles, France, have some fun, drink a little wine, enjoy myself, and pick up a check.
Yeah, did you get some complimentary Perrier? Absolutely, right?
Right.
Take
A
the
year
family for a little
supply.
France vacation.
Right, yeah. I can foresee if I were a player of that ilk, that playing over in Europe, or playing a couple of tournaments in Asia, or Australia might be fun. You play. It's a world game. Everybody enjoys it. Why not? As opposed to doing one and not the other. So it definitely is going to be a lot of fun in that regard. Let's see if the leaderboard's changed yet. I don't think it's okay. Well, yeah, we got Jordan and Cantley are tied, and so did Will Zalas. Move up to 5. They're all at 5 under. Patrick and Jordan are at 10 through 10. Now, 10 is a very difficult hole at at Riviera. So keep an eye on whether or not they stay at 5 when they. They're through 10. So yeah, okay. So so we got now 3 guys at 5, and so again, within 4 strokes of the lead, you still have over 20 plus almost 30 people in round 1 here. So there you go. And the money on Cantley has changed. It's 550 now, and the money on Spieth is down to 900. So we've had a change.
Yeah, I see that. It's Scotty Scheffler is actually the favorite I have here.
Really?
Plus Where the hell is 550?
I didn't see him. I must have missed you. You said to pay attention.
Yeah. So Cantley's plus 600. Spieth is plus 900 now, and I'm with you. So when just a few minutes ago when we were talking about it, Cantley was the leader at like plus 450. Spieth was plus 800, one stroke behind, and Scheffler was in between. And I'm with you. I can't find Scheffler on the leaderboard. Has he not started yet? Maybe.
I'm almost 50 down here, and I don't see him.
Because they're 3 hours behind. So
yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. Wait a minute. You're right. Oh, Scotty Scheffler.
The Rorys.
Scotty tees off in 3 minutes.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so I was wondering because I keep seeing him. I'm like, how is he moving up and he's nowhere on the? He has to have not started yet. So,
yeah, he can't be that bad.
What's the group he's in? Is he with Rory McIlroy or something?
Let me
look.
Like that? Let me look real quick. He's with Morikawa.
Okay.
So that's good. Matt Fitzpatrick, Scotty, and Wyndham Clark.
Oh, okay. Wyndham Clark just he won the Waste Management, right?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. He won the beer bash. The kegger.
Yeah, the good old kegger down in
Phoenix. Yeah. I wonder how much beer he ingested during that term.
He's probably getting a lot of questions in that group. How did you put up with it last week?
Yeah. How did you survive? Rory's in with Max Homa, Adam Scott, and Alex Smiley in that foursome. Max Homa's played pretty well last year or so.
Yeah, he was.
So is Adam Scott. So you got see who else is. Well, actually, the last tee time would be 3:06 Eastern, which is noon out on the coast. So, yeah, Scotty. Let's do a little projection here. Let's say that Jordan and the guys up front. Let's give them another 2, right? 7 under. Okay. 7 under in the afternoon. When, as I said, the morning is tougher to play. I could foresee Scotty putting or Rory putting up a number very close to that number if all goes well for them. The afternoon should be really nice. The weather should be good. So anything that was a problem in the morning shouldn't be a problem in the afternoon. So we'll see.
Well, the odds are on their side. It's up to Scheffler to catch up, I guess, when he starts. That's what the books think.
It's kind of like watching. Shoot, what was I thinking of? It's it'd be like cricket, right? The one team's up 175 runs, and you're thinking, what, 775? Yeah, well, the other team will be there, soon.
Yeah, just wait till we go tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. Well, tomorrow they'll flip, right? So Jordan and Patrick will play in the afternoon, and Rory and the rest of the guys are going to play in the morning. So they'll get a feel for it. And then the following day, Saturdays and Sundays tournament is basically played in the afternoon. So they'll all be in good shape from that standpoint. So that's our leaderboard. So yeah, the fact that we couldn't find him was probably because he hasn't started yet. So sometimes you get lucky at this point. What are some of the? Are there certain tournaments that you personally just enjoy watching?
For golf?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I usually watch all the majors.
Sure.
Definitely the Masters is a favorite of mine, but it's tough to say. I mean, the Waste Management might become one I have to catch every year.
It's a must watch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's slowly becoming a must watch at this point. So maybe the Waste Management Open. I personally do like the Masters. The PGA Championship is okay. I mean, it
depends where they play it.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? They always pick a course I don't like. At least with Augusta, so you get some consistency.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, I like the Open Championship too. It's always interesting to see them play those crazy courses out in the UK. So that's a good one. The US Open is just difficult. They always pick a tough course that's not even like nice. It's just super challenging. Yeah. And so definitely if I had to rate the majors, I would go the Masters, the Open Championship, and then probably the US Open and then the PGA Championship.
I just checked LA's weather for the week, and it's there's a very outside chance of rain on Sunday, but it's very outside. I like the TPC, other than if we're obviously the majors, but I do like the TPC tournament because I love watching people miss Sound 17 with the island golf, the island green out there. My brother played that course twice, and I asked him, what was the worst he did on it, and he said 4 tee shots out there. I said, why? Because I'm not wasting another golf ball. Because I'll hit 4 of them, but I'm not going to hit 5. If I don't get it on at 4, then I don't deserve it.
Yeah, definitely a challenging course. I have a few friends that really enjoy that one. That would always be the go-to when we used to play PGA 2K or whatever the game is called. Always that was the go-to course for them.
It was funny because I asked the the guys at the PGA who keep stats what was the most, and I was surprised. The most was 26. Now, I don't, if I'm playing behind that group and one fool is hitting 26 golf balls out there, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, 20. Boy, I'll tell you what. Will's is a Horace who was 3 under when we started the show, is 6 under now through 8. So he found a little juice there, huh?
Yeah, he's heating up. He's not hitting 26 balls off the tee, that's for sure.
Nope. I mean, I wouldn't think that the PGA would even let him hit 26 balls.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, first of all, that's like, if you buy the 12 packs, that's 3 packs of balls. You just burned through 2 right there.
I can see Titleist going, "What are you doing?" It's like,
this is professional, right? Like a
professional.
professional.
Yeah. There's no way that an amateur would be allowed to hit that many balls.
If you're a professional hitting 26 off that tee, then
and not hitting catching the green,
yeah, you need to retire from the tour. Why are you even on the tour? Is my question. Now I kind of want to know who it was.
No, I asked him. The guy goes, "This Kevin Costner was a tin cup." I said, "No, you know that was it." Yeah, but it kind of feels that way, right? Where you're going. Where Cheech Marin is his caddy, and he's just whacking the ball out there, and they're going, "You're not gonna hit it. Get there, okay? You're just not. It is not your day. Give up." So
yeah, that's excessive.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I just, like I said, you're not gonna see an amateur is not gonna get 26 whacks at the golf ball to get it on the green. Now, why would you even want to at that point?
Well, that's what I mean, right? Like. First of all, how are you on the tour? Second of all, are you not embarrassed? At what point do you just withdraw from the tournament? You're like, there's no coming back. I'm shooting a 29 on this hole. Like, that's half the course. Let's just retire. I'll withdraw. We gave it a shot this year. We'll try again next year.
Right. I mean, it's like after 5 or 6, you go, I hurt my wrist. It's like, fake an injury. I don't care at that point. It's like, holy God. But don't just go there. I mean, that's crazy. So yeah, it's gonna be wild. Any thoughts on this field for the weekend? Anybody you like to end up, in the winner's situation where it gets his Genesis automobile for the year there?
I just gotta say, Genesis is like the weirdest car company. I couldn't tell you where any of their dealerships are, but I can tell you for a fact I know one dealership, and it's in the center of a huge mall in Mississauga. Really? Yeah, and it's basically, I was walking past it and I had to do a double take because they have the actual cars in the showroom there, and I go, how the hell did you get these cars into this store? And who would ever buy a car from this dealership knowing, how am I going to drive this off the lot? I have to go through all these people walking through the mall. Like, I just didn't understand the location.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you remember the Blues Brothers where they drove through that mall to get away from the police.
Very nice vehicles, but I'm like,
oh yeah, I mean they're the top, they're the flagship brand for Hyundai and for Kia.
Yeah, it's just poor choice in dealership location.
Yeah, my brother had one. Was his second car. Had a Genesis. They had a coupe that they had, which he liked. The driving of it. He doesn't have it anymore. He went to a Mercedes, but they are. They'll give you, for the value, for the money, Genesis gives you a very nice luxury car at a reasonable price. So anybody out there looking for a nice luxury car, don't go to to the mall to buy it. There are many places you can get it. But anyway, I don't know. I think for me, I don't. I like Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, I'll go with Zalatoris just because he's getting
Okay.
hot now and is taking the lead, and
Right.
he's
I
a
only
streaky kind of
yeah.
player. Anybody
I
that
only-
can hit the ball off the
yeah.
cart path, I have respect for.
You got to respect for him. He does. Yeah, off the cart path, bouncing off the what is it, the the tent out there for the sponsors and onto the green. Call your shot. I'm only I'm playing Jordan Spieth only because Jordan Spieth has probably he's had 5 or 6 top 5 finishes out there. So I mean, he knows the course. So I'm not exactly breaking any news here. If Jordan Spieth won, it wouldn't be a surprise, I'm sure, to anybody. So
Well, he was in that top 10 video from 2011. So there you go.
I didn't even remember that. Yeah, but so yeah, he's been there. He knows what to do. So there's that. Something you and I talked about Jaromir Jagr the other day, and I just came across a piece, which I thought was interesting. Jagr is the Pens are retiring Jagr's number, and it turns out he's still playing in his native country.
Plays in Russia, right?
Yeah, and he's doing very well. He's still playing. So
yeah, I remember he had like a short stint with the Flames like 5 years ago. He played like half the season.
Right.
And then I guess the Flames didn't want him because he was like 42 or 43 at that time. Right. And they decided to go to the KHL. And then there you go. I guess he's got to be close to like 50 years old, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's
have Tom Brady in the Russian football league soon.
Well, I was thinking when you were saying about he's playing in Czechoslovakia, by the way.
Oh, okay, so he moved from that was 5 years ago. He went to the KHL. I guess he got too old for the KHL because they do have good players in that league.
They have a pretty decent team, yeah.
And his home country was like, "We'll take you. You're an icon."
He's 52 years old.
Oh wow, I thought maybe like 48 or 9. 52. He's past the 50 mark.
I'm just looking at a picture of him, and I will tell you that he hasn't missed many banquets. I think he definitely he doesn't look like the guy who we know was a phenomenal player for the Pens. He didn't really have a decent season or career after the Pens. I mean, he played with some people, but he had some spot situations, but no career after the Pens.
Yeah, he was like I said, he was playing for the Flames 5 years ago. So this guy is a true journeyman at heart for sure. After goes wherever they'll take me. The Flames don't want me, I'll go to the KHL. KHL doesn't want me now, I'll go back to Czechia.
Well, they're gonna, according to this. There's a story in Sports 24 News that Jagr is celebrated his 52nd birthday last week. So happy birthday, Jagr, Jaromir. Yeah. He has yet to be inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame because, and here's the hang up, is they would vote for him to go in. There is a stipulation, and we talked about this yesterday, about people who want their jerseys retired before they finish playing. Well, according
to where this was going.
Yeah, the Hockey Hall of Fame said we would be happy to see him here, and I'm quite sure that they would vote for him if he ever retires. So he's not in the Hall of Fame, not because of his lack of talent. It's because of his lack of ability to stop.
He just gotta keep playing. He might play till the day he dies at this rate. Like, if you haven't hung it up by 52, when are you done?
But I mean, like you said, the KHL doesn't have him. Now he's playing, over stuff. I just, man,
It's a full contact league. I don't understand how he hasn't broken something.
He says, to put longevity into perspective, the oldest current player in the NHL is Mark Giordano. Mark Giordano is a 40-year-old defenseman for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah. Got him from the Kraken last year or two years ago.
Giordano was 6 years old when Jagr was drafted.
And he's still playing to this day. 40 years old, and he's still playing.
Well, okay, think about this, right? We were joking about LeBron wanting to play with Bronny and maybe then with his grandchild. Jagr could literally, at 52, okay, Jagr could have his son playing, and potentially, in college, a grandson.
That's what he's waiting for, Jim. He's LeBron said it, and he's gonna do it, and then he's just gonna quietly.
Sure they're so much alike.
He's gonna quietly do it in the third league of the Czech Republic, and no one's gonna ever even know it happened, and it's just gonna be like, I did it first. I played with my child and my grandchild.
Okay. It said okay, here's the thing. The Pens, okay, have tried on 5 separate occasions to retire number 68. The delay had absolutely nothing, according to the Penguins, spokesperson, with honoring him. It is a no-brainer, they said. But the Pens, like all teams in the NHL, have a rule that says we don't retire jerseys of players who are still playing somewhere. So now Jagr is a part owner of the team he plays in his hometown. So he will fly to Pittsburgh, participate in the festivities in the dates in March. The ceremony will take for the Pens face the LA Kings, so they basically got a homecoming team to play them, and then he will also be there for the Sunday, which will be the following, to hold. It said that they wanted to do this the following Sunday when the Penguins played Philadelphia Flyers. That way, he played for the Flyers as well.
Name a team he didn't play for.
That's probably fair. That's better. Yeah, that's probably a better way of doing it. But here's the thing: Jagr has to be back to play for his team in the Czech Republic, so he couldn't do it.
I'm sure you don't have to be back for that game. Okay, I'm sure that there are other players on the team that are just as capable, if not more.
Don't ask me, buddy.
That's hilarious.
But you mentioned his name the other day, so I thought, wonder what's going on. So,
yeah,
Jordan has caught Cantley. They're at 6 under, and Will still's got his 6 under. So the trio. So Cantley and Spieth must be playing in the same foursome because they're both through 11, and Zulus is at through 8, and in the clubhouse is Pyongyang Hoon at 4 under. He and Ben Hostler have just finished their rounds. Let's zing down here and see what we got. Any news from the front on guys who just started? Yes, it is. I may have to reboot the refresh. No. Adam Scott has yet to start. Smiley and Montgomery. Those are the only 3. Justin Thomas. No, he's in through 10. Man, I'm trying to find. Wyndham Clark is even, so you got a par on the opening hole. Let's see who else. I can't find him. Scotty Scheffler. Oh, look at this. Scotty Scheffler is -2 after 1 hole.
Got an eagle on the first hole. Really?
Yeah. Look out.
Well, the odds makers were right. They had him favored pretty much the whole time.
I was going to say, somebody in Vegas knows what the hell they're doing. He's still there. All right, boys and girls.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah, smash an eagle right off the top of the man. Good on him. All right. We've come to that point in the show where Amedeus, it is your turn, my friend. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, make sure you check out my premium picks at bigal.com, pickadvisor.com, and theinsidersroom.com. The links are in the description below. Coming off a 3-6 day, but we bounced back today. I got 2 college basketball plays that you can get for tonight, and I'm already 1-0. I had a soccer play at cash in Europa League in the 12:45 window. So make sure you go check out my basketball for tonight.
There you go. And that's what you should be doing. Checking it out, and not just checking it out, but using it. All right, everybody. Tomorrow, it's going to be a fun weekend. We've got the NBA All-Stars. We got Daytona 500. We've got more. We can check in on what's going on at Riviera. And we're very close to spring training's already started. So we're going to be seeing some actual spring training and Grapefruit League and Cactus League baseball here in not too distant future. As a matter of fact, I think games begin sometime next week, about the same time, about a week from today. So you're hearing some bats and balls smacking around out there, and we'll have some fun with it. All right. Until then, guys, until tomorrow, have a lovely day. Thanks for joining us. For Amedeus, I'm Jim. Be well.